All right, I am pumped today, guys, because we get two really cool things going on. Number one, I just got some new parts for my truck that I've been looking for a very long time. And two, we're gonna find out who won the Cyclone. But first, I gotta show you this because I'm really excited about it. We finally got an HD front end for the four-wheel drive drag truck. I've been looking for one of these for a very long time. It's basically just the hood and the grill, but it's my absolute favorite front end for these GMT 800 trucks. I think the only thing left that I want to find is the paint matched upper bumper cover. The black textured one I just don't like. But on the, like an 06 factory half-ton Silverado, they had that body color. So I'm still gonna be looking for one of those, but I am so psyched. And I don't know if I love this or not, but it does match the cab, the doors, and the tailgate that I have. So really, I'm like 2 fenders away and a different bed from having a truck that's all one color. And I'm sort of torn. Half of me says, yeah, let's do it. Let's get the different bed and the different fenders. But the other half of me really wants an Arrival blue Silverado, because that's my absolute favorite color of all time. But I don't know, we're not too worried about the color right now. I'm just so pumped that we finally got the hood and the grill, OEM, everything is in pretty good shape. It does have the typical GM clear coat that's peeling. I don't care. It does have a couple little hail dents here and there. Again, I don't care. It's an OEM hood and it's mine. And one of the reasons why I've been so excited about finding one is because when we do the intercooler on this thing, this grill has like the most space of any of the GMT 800s for fitting an intercooler in front of the whole core support and stuff. We probably will move the transcooler back a little bit. But yeah, it's just like a huge space and it looks awesome. So I'm psyched, I'm pumped. I just had to share it with you. So we have a few more things to do this truck in a little bit, but let's find out who won the second gen Cyclone. All right, we're about to make somebody's day. We're gonna find out who won the second gen Cyclone, and I'm really psyched, I'm really pumped. This is my favorite part of doing these giveaways. So far we've done 2, probably do more in the future. I don't have anything in the works right now, but it's just really exciting because it's like nerve-wracking. You get to, it's like pulling the number out of the hat sort of a thing. We get to find out who won, give them a call. I kind of like to, it'd be fun to mess with people a little bit, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but first things first, let's do the drawing. All the entries have been validated and tabulated and all that good stuff. So let's, without further ado, find out who won the second gen Cyclone. All right, here we go. John Pillon. Congratulations to John. All right, apologies if I mispronounced that last name, but it looks like John Pillon is the winner of the second gen Cyclone. Congratulations, John. We are going to try to call you right now. All right, John is from Arizona, as it turns out, and I've got his number here, so let's call him up and hopefully make his day. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Call Assist by Google, recording this call for the person you're trying to reach. Before I try to connect you, can I ask what you're calling about?
A bright red truck. I'll probably give it away.
Okay, one last thing before I transfer you. Can I ask who I'm speaking to?
LT.
Okay, let me try to get the person you're trying to reach on the line.
That'll kind of ruin the surprise, I'm afraid.
Sorry, but they're not able to take the call. I already shared our conversation.
All right, he's calling back. Hello?
Is this LT?
Yes, sir. Is this John?
This is John. I'm sorry, sir. I was in a funeral.
Oh. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. You got a few seconds?
Yeah, I do. I'm walking outside right now, sir. Did I get what happened? Did something happen that I think happened?
Well, I have a couple of questions for you first. One, do you recall entering a sweepstakes in the last little while? Okay.
Of course I do.
Um,
Cyclone.
Yeah, that's the one. Second question, are you a legal citizen of either the United States or Canada?
Absolutely.
All right. Those are the only two questions I have for you. John, you are the winner of the second gen Cyclone.
Holy cow, man. Wow. I'm blown away by that.
It's yours. Yeah,
Holy
congratulations.
cow, man. Thank you. Holy cow. My friends are going to flip.
Oh,
I've been trying to build a project truck over and over again, and I keep failing, so it's great.
well, this ought to definitely get you a head start. That's for sure.
Holy shit, man. My wife's going to flip. I just looked down at my phone, and we're here, the proceedings ending, everybody's kind of heading out, and I see bright red truck LT. I'm like, Colorado Springs. I'm like, no. I've never had anything like this happen before in my life, so I'm nearly 50 years old. This is something else.
Well, hey, there's a first time for everything, right? What I just kind of ask everybody, what are you gonna do with it? What do you like? What kind of cars are you into? What are your? I know it's fresh news, but what might your plans be?
Oh man, I'm gonna drive it, and I'm gonna whoop on some people.
All right.
And, I've got a couple projects right now. I've got an 83 Malibu wagon, and I've got an 83 step side that's got a big block that's been working on it for about a year.
Nice.
So this is just one of those, like, what do I do? So, but I'm going to love this thing, that's for sure. I can't wait to get behind the wheel of this thing. It's a lot of power. So.
Well, it's got plenty of power, and it's got room to grow too. If you decide if it's not enough.
Oh, I think it'll be enough.
All right.
But wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, not a problem, John. I'm excited for you. Once again, congratulations. I'll send you a text here in a second just so you have my cell phone.
Okay.
And then, like I said, keep an eye out for the sweepstakes company getting a hold of you. I don't know when that'll be. Hopefully today or tomorrow at the latest.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'll be in and I'm driving all over, so I'll definitely call him back when I can. So when I'm in and out of cell phone range, but I'll be back in the cell phone range here after we get to the mountains and everything. So.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call back, John.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. I picked up this whole steering column quite a while ago because it had, well, actually, no, I bought it because I didn't have any interior at the time, but this did have the steering wheel controls and clock spring and all the wiring that I need to put these buttons on. I like the buttons. Now, I'm probably going to swap this multifunction switch too, if this one is good, because the little horn contact on it, on my other one, is not good. It's all wore out. Oh yeah, that little brass contact right there on my other switch, like completely wore out. So basically what I'm trying to do is we have this plug and the wires, they go down, I believe, to this big connector here. I need to add those 2 or 6 or however many wires to my truck. So I'm thinking either I just put this whole column harness in, or I depin it, but I guess I kind of need to see 2, 3, 4. It's quite a few wires, so I'll probably just end up switching this whole entire harness. One harness. The only difference, now I'll have some extra wires. This goes down to the, this one has steering angle sensor, which my truck doesn't have, but I could just depin all of these if I was worried about it. So just working on depinning the steering angle sensor from this connector. It's kind of cool how these work. Never seen it before, this exact type. So you got this little blue lock tab that slides in there and clicks in place. And then this connector actually slides inside. It's hard to do one-handed, but it slides inside that connector there. It took me a while to figure out how that all goes together, but I figured rather than just cutting the wires, I would much rather, if it'll focus, I'd much rather just depin them completely. So there we go. A little while later, we have the stock column all stripped of its wiring. We have the new harness all cleaned up and ready to go. I did check, a lot of these wires are the same. A lot of them have different colors and different spots, so hopefully this works. We'll find out in a second though. All right, it's New Year's week, which means of course we get a day off in the middle of the week, which always throws a wrench in productivity, but I'm trying to think where we left things off with the little project here, but we have everything more or less wrapped up. It did turn into a bit of a chasing my tail session. I'll tell you about that here in a second. But where we're at now, if I get my light out of my pocket, we got everything kind of wired up tentatively and ready to go. You can see I put a new the horn contact switch in because both of mine that I had, those little tabs right there were broken off. So I have a new horn contact set. We have the new multifunction switch. That's why the horn didn't work before. That little brass pin that sticks out. Maybe you can see it right there. The old one in the truck was completely wore down. I swapped the shift handle over, and that's kind of where I started chasing my tail because I was trying to get the tow haul mode to work. The wire on the original shift handle was broken, like always happens on these trucks. I swapped the handle over from the 05 Denali column that is basically completely stripped down over there. And no matter what I did, the tow haul button wouldn't activate tow haul mode. And I pulled the whole wire harness back out again, the one that I just put in from the Denali. Same thing, it wouldn't have tow haul mode. I double checked the wiring for the shift handle. Everything was working, but it just wouldn't light up tow haul mode. I'm like, what the heck? And I have a very bad habit of going down these rabbit holes. If I can't figure something out, I'm just gonna spend a whole bunch of time on it. But once I put everything back together again, realized that it's basically the instrument cluster. I put my laptop on with HP tuners and I could see it switch to performance mode, as HP tuners calls it, but it was working, it just wasn't lighting up on the dashboard. So that's a cluster issue. We'll probably have to either, I'm gonna change the cluster at some point, not because of that, but because I want like a Denali cluster with a trans temp. But yeah, so I just spent a whole bunch of time doing some diag for something that already worked. I didn't show you guys any of this, but back here I just tidied up the last little bit of wiring. I put a couple of cushion clamps on, wrapped everything, taped it. This is left bare because that's just my extra wire for when we put the big fuel pump in. So this is basically done. The bed is almost ready to go back on. I wired up the tail lights on the bottom side here. I got this from Amazon, and it's an inexpensive harness, and I've used them before, but they're like a foot too long, so I end up just putting a little extra loop in there so they stay nice and tidy and organized. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and we just had, the flip of the calendar. We have the new year, and that's always a time where I like to sit back, like everybody, I guess, and evaluate things, life in general and business and strategy and stuff like that. And regarding the YouTube channel that you're watching right now, we're going to be doing things a little bit different in the year coming up, and probably indefinitely, all in the name of being a better content creator and business operator and things like that. You guys may have noticed, but the truth of the matter is I've been doing some content lately that is, for lack of a better term, half-assed. And here's what I mean. I get into a rut as a creator where every single week I feel the pressure to do an upload. And that doesn't always produce the best content. Now, I'm a one-man show. I film the videos, I build the projects, I edit, and I have a shop that I run at the same time. So time is hard to come by. Everybody's busy. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but when it comes to making content, the quality suffers. Now, I know a lot of you guys are, everybody who watches the channel, you guys are awesome. But I want to give something a little bit better. So what I'm going to do this year, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to probably slow down the frequency of my uploads rather than trying every single week just to have something for the sake of putting an upload out there into the universe. I'm going to try to make my content more subject oriented or more start to finish. So it's a little bit more rewarding to watch. The drag truck, for example, this is like the worst part of the build because it's that last 10% that takes 90% of the time to do. And it sucks to watch, I know, but I'm in that like constant loop where I feel like, gotta get a video out. So instead, what I'm gonna do, starting the next week, we'll pick a topic, say the exhaust, for example. I'll do an exhaust system start to finish in one episode. I'll, be able to start the truck up and hear it and get a payoff. And then after that, the next topic or the next video you'll see is probably the very first test drive. Like I'm right now halfway through building some brake lines. That's not interesting. That's not exciting. There's no reason to put that into a video. So I'm going to try to have a little bit more care and thought in the content that I produce and the stories that we tell. I want to make it exciting for you guys. But because, I'm a one-man show, the only drawback to that is time. It might be every 2 weeks we get an upload. Depending on how the year goes, maybe we'll get I'd like to get somebody in to help do some filming and editing. That could potentially speed things up. But that's one thing to kind of keep your eye out for. So if you see me a little bit less frequently, just know that I'm trying to produce a better finished product, a better piece of content. Speaking of the drag truck, right over there in that box, we have a couple of turbo manifolds. I'm still collecting some parts for it. We're getting some turbos lined up here now. Still haven't driven it yet. You will see that hopefully as soon as it happens. But let's talk about giveaways. Earlier in this video, you saw me do the giveaway announcement. Again, congrats to John for winning the second gen Cyclone. And thank you so much to everybody who did enter because the sweepstakes, it kind of sucks to give a vehicle away in the sense that it's no longer in the fleet, but it's also rewarding for me because I get to give it to someone. I get to pass that joy of owning and driving that vehicle along to somebody else. And of course, there's a financial aspect to it, and it helps kind of keep the wheels turning for the YouTube channel because by itself, the channel doesn't really make a whole lot of money. Can't complain, but the giveaways, they're helpful, put it that way. So I plan on doing more. And I'll let you in on a little bit of a sneak peek here. I want to do what I'm calling LT's Dream Car Giveaway Series. I want to be able to buy one of my dream cars, or many of them ultimately, and own them for a little while and then pass them along. And my dream cars are probably like a lot of your dream cars. I don't really care for Ferraris and Bugattis and Koenigsegg's and things like that. My dream cars are ones that were brand new when I was in high school, ones that were at the time very, very appealing, but out of reach. I'm talking things like a Z06 Corvette, a Mustang Cobra, even some trucks like an SRT10 Ram or a Silverado SS. And I've got a list on my phone that's probably got 25 to 30 of my quote unquote dream cars. I'd love to buy every single one of them, own them for a little while, modify them, and then give them to you guys. And I think that's just kind of the best way to experience some automotive variety, because I get these truck projects and it'll be 2 or 3 or 4 years that it sucks up my time. But I want to experience more to the automotive world. I want some of these cool, fast cars that I've dreamt about forever. And this year, we're going to start that. We're going to make that happen. So keep an eye out for, name pending, but keep an eye out for the LT Dream Car giveaway series. And you guys can be a part of that. So anyway, this video is, again, apologies for the term, but it's half-assed. I get it. But it's the last one that I made at the tail end of 2025 and the first week of January 2026, which again, I don't know where time goes. I'm almost 40, but I swear it's like time is accelerating in some weird way. But that's the end of my ramble. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Come back soon for some, hopefully, a little bit better quality content. The next thing you guys should be seeing on the drag truck is probably an exhaust in a very first test drive. So come back soon. Happy New Year, by the way.